Hi guys, here's a quick video on how to do really well in your general conversation in French. That is for foundation, okay? So if you're sitting the foundation exam. So your speaking exam is 25% of your French GCSE and your general conversation is half of that. So it is basically 30 marks out of your 60 marks in your speaking exam. So here's a lot of tips on how to do well in it. So first of all, I've included some themes and topics that the themes and topics that you are covering throughout your GCSE. So what you need to know is essentially you will have one chosen topic. So you might choose theme 2, for example. So that means that half of the questions in your general conversation will be on theme 2 for sure. So that includes holidays, that kind of stuff. And then the second half of the general conversation, will be a random topic, either 1 or 3. Okay, so you choose one and the other one is random. Your timings, you need to speak for 3 to 5 minutes. So 3 to 5 minutes is, it seems like a lot, but it really isn't. So that, say for example, you speak 4 minutes in total, that is 2 on your chosen topic and 2 minutes on your random topic. It goes very quickly, remember, because you might hesitate a little bit. Your teacher will be asking questions, so don't worry about that at all, okay? Then here's a look at the mark scheme. So it is 30 marks, as I said previously. So the first 10 marks are on communication. The key ideas, you can pause the video if you want to have a look at it in detail, but the key ideas are extend your answers, give me some positive, some negative with however in the middle, that kind of stuff. Make sure you are clear when you speak, even if it means slowing down. And give and justify opinions. So give me reasons, give me why you like to do such activity, for example. Then we have 10 marks on range and accuracy of languages. So that is basically, how good and varied your French is. How many words do you know to talk about a topic? Are you using j'aime all the time, or are you making sure to use a variety of opinions? Do you have past and future tense? Can you use past and future tense in your answers? If you are asked about what you did last weekend, can you use the past tense accordingly? And make sure that your errors are relatively minor. We are not expecting perfection. There will be some errors in your speaking, and that is absolutely fine. You can still get the top marks, but make sure there is no big mistake. A big mistake usually will be something that makes it hard to understand for the teacher, or an error on a tense. So it's really important that we know our tenses, but we'll come back to that later. Pronunciation and intonation, it's very straightforward. I'll let you have a look at that. But you'll notice that to get 5 out of 5, you can do generally good with some inconsistency and you still get 5 out of 5. So again, you don't need to sound perfectly French to do really well in your exam. And finally, 5 marks on spontaneity and fluency. That means, are you taking 30 seconds of pause to answer a question, or are you responding fairly quickly, even though you might hesitate? That is absolutely fine. Again, if you look at the top band, you can definitely hesitate and still get 5 out of 5. So earlier we talked about extending your answers. This is an example. If you get asked the question, tu aimes le sport? A bad answer, a limited answer would be j'aime le sport. That doesn't give me anything. That doesn't show off your language. A good example would be, with a positive and negative, a general kind of answer. So, je me passionne pour le sport, car c'est vraiment actif et amusant. And then I'm going to move on to a sport I like and a sport I don't like. So, for example, par exemple, j'adore jouer à la pétanque le week-end avec mes amis, car c'est divertissant. So we've got, for example, I love to play bowls. So again, I'm trying not to use le foot all the time, okay, to try and get more variety. I've said with my friends and because it's entertaining. Then, however, and I give a negative, I can't stand cycling because I think it is stupid and tiring. And I'm making sure, again, to use different opinions and different words. So that would be a really good example. You are also going to be expected to give tenses. So if I ask you, if you hear in the question, le week-end dernier, hier or récemment, that means it's in the past. So I expect to hear something like j'ai mangé, j'ai visité, j'ai nagé, j'ai écouté, j'ai regardé. Notice that they rhyme. You need to hear that rhyme. J'ai mangé, j'ai visité, etc., etc. I've included some irregulars. You can pause your screen again, you pause the video if you want to write them down if you would like, and then make sure you sit it instead of c'est. So, and it was fantastic. Future tense, if you hear in the question le week-end prochain, demain, à l'avenir, dans le futur, this is going to be a future tense. You have two ways of doing the future. You can say je vais bronzer or je voudrais bronzer. I'm going to or I would like. They are both absolutely fine. No irregulars, so good news on that front. And instead of c'est, you are going to use ce sera or ce serait. Okay? Pause your video if you want to improve your variety. So we've put on here some positive, negative opinions, and same for adjectives. So if you don't want to repeat amusant all the time or j'aime all the time, you can pause this, make a note of these in your book, and that will be good revision material for you. Finally, at the end, you need to ask your teacher a question. You will hear your teacher say, Tu as une question pour moi? That means you need to ask them anything related to the topics that you have learned. So you can use tu as, do you have, or tu aimes, do you like, plus a thing, okay? So for example, you could say, Tu aimes le foot? Tu aimes la musique pop? Tu as un frère? As long as you don't pronounce that last S, okay? And that is you done with your general conversation. Well done.